Formula One, a sport that spans hearts, minds and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One. Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010, and since 2014 they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back every year. In 2021 they took home the Constructors' Championship once more, although they narrowly missed out on the Drivers' Championship, coming in second. Heading into 2022, Mercedes will insist on dominating the competition. Nothing less than the fastest car and the most wins will give the Silver Arrows the outcome they want to see at the end of this new season and beyond. The Red Bull team burst onto the F1 scene in 2005, and ever since 2009, they've been one of the top 3 teams in the championship. Ferrari have entered Formula One every year since the World Championship began back in 9th. McLaren, Alpine, Alfa Haas joined F1 back in 20.
Hi there. Nice to meet you. I'm Audrey Mensa, one of the team's senior engineers. Welcome to the team. It's great to have you on board. We finished last season on a high here at Red Bull, but this season we want to push even further. It's a good job you're here, because we're ready to get started. As our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. Everything from managing our team's growth, overseeing our finances, and deciding on race day strategies will be in your hands. You can keep an eye on most things from your dashboard here. I can take you through it now. First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them will help keep confidence high, so be sure to familiarise yourself with what's expected. You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well. Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix, which will be the first of the season. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up. This is your calendar for the month. Pay attention to the events that have been marked. The race weekends have already been added for you. More events will get added as the season progresses. This is where you'll carry out your final preparations for the next race. We'll come back here later. One of my favourite places. This is where the car builds happen, and where we develop and store our car parts. Throughout the season, you'll want to make sure the team are working on upgrading components, and that both cars are being kept in good repair. You can also use car analysis to compare our car builds to other teams. This is where you'll find relevant information on the team's drivers and reserve driver, including their performance ratings and contract details. You can also scout for new drivers to make sure we have the best driver pairing we can. It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance. From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car part development centres. You can build new facilities or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance. Over time, facilities will degrade and become less effective, so keep an eye on their condition. When this happens, we'll need to look at refurbishing or even upgrading that facility to get back to maximum efficiency. Don't forget to check in with the board often. You can monitor board confidence levels, your available budget, and your progress towards a greater team rating from here. Here, you can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by. It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. It's good to get in the habit of regularly checking that list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today. You have an alert in the top corner. There's an important email awaiting a response, so you should check your inbox when you're ready. Looks like you've received a budget approval request. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money, and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn. I reckon that's a good decision. It should keep the team in high spirit. Now that's dealt with, we can focus on our first Grand Prix of the season. The race weekend is still a few days away, so move forward when you're ready. There's always some final work to do before we can set off. Check your inbox for the race prep Okay, you want to get started with a design project. These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of a car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others. You can also view our car performance by rank on grid. This is a useful comparison tool and lets you see how our performance compares to that of all the other cars on the grid. Take a look over the different car parts. The highlights indicate which performance areas they impact the most. Pick one that impacts the ratings you want to improve. The team's expertise in making new car parts improves with experience, so each new design is likely to be better than an older one. Just make sure to check the new design against the one currently installed. Testing is also an important step in designing a new car part. Our testing time is limited throughout the season, and it's up to you to decide how much to commit to each design project. If you assign some testing time to this design now, you can see what effect it will have on the car part. Once you've taken a look, let's continue. You can direct the engineering team to focus on specific areas of performance. F1 car parts are complex, and sometimes you'll have to sacrifice performance in one area to achieve gains in another. Over the season, we'll understand more about our car's performance, which will help... As a final step before the team gets started on this design project, you need to decide how many engineers you want working on it. You should also decide what approach they should take. Bear in mind, these decisions will have an impact on the duration and cost of the project. When you're happy with it, nice work. That's the project started. If you check your calendar, you'll see the team have given you a delivery date for the design. Once it's complete, you'll be able to manufacture that part anytime. Continually designing new car parts is imperative to improving our team's performance and staying competitive on the track. Check out the car analysis area regularly to see how our cars compare to others on the grid. This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. You can also find all the information you need on the circuit we're racing on here. One thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets. These help us generate more potential rewards for the team. Okay, you have all the information you should need. Let's head to race preparation to see if there's any remaining tasks for us to complete. This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. One thing you'll always need to do... Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue. Looks like we've got incentives for both the qualifying session and the race. If we can reach those targets, we'll get an additional payout, and it won't cost the team anything if we don't meet them. You can also decide to add targets here and offer our sponsors guarantees. These are a risk, as we face a potential financial loss if we don't meet them. But if we do, we'll gain a much larger reward. Okay, if you want to offer a guarantee for this weekend and raise the team's potential rewards, now is your chance. You've done everything needed, and the team can't wait to get started. It's time for the first race of the season. You can take some more time to look around if you like. When you're ready, let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. The weekend begins here.
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice one as usual. Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. Rest assured the team have already prepared the cars for practice. When you're ready, we can continue to the practice session. During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over. As it's your first race weekend, You should let the team handle the practice sessions.
Today has already seen the culmination of practice, so we move on now to the all-important qualifying session. There are no more chances to practice this weekend. It gets serious from now on in, as our teams prepare to record their best lap times ahead of tomorrow's race. One good lap isn't enough to guarantee a strong position, with consistency absolutely essential for those looking to succeed. So get yourselves comfortable. It's going to be quite the ride.
To help maximise our drivers' performance, the team have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatisation, car parts knowledge, and setup confidence. If you manage the session yourself, you might get an even better performance from the drivers for the rest of the weekend. Right. Time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3 knockout rounds, and only the fastest drivers will advance each time. Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for you if you like. Let's get you hands-on for this round though, just to make sure you're feeling confident before race day kicks off. Our drivers need to be set in their fastest possible lap times, so we can advance to the next round of qualifying. The slowest 5 cars will be knocked out. Keep a careful eye on time remaining. The time limit on qualifying rounds really ramps up the pressure. Right then, let's get a car out on the track for its first run and see how it goes. Managing pace will help you manage a car's tyre temperature and wear. Keep an eye on the tyre condition of both cars. Over time, tyre condition will fall, reducing their grip and performance, eventually leading to tyre failures and car retirement. Each car is fitted with a number of onboard cameras, so you can see the action as it happens. You can also use the map view if you like. It gives you a good overview of the whole track and all the cars. Remember, you're managing 2 drivers throughout the session, so make sure to keep an eye on both of them.
So pick up the pace, pick up the pace.
Okay.
Let's push.
Yeah.
Our driver is back in the pits. You need to reconfigure the car before we can send them back out. Let's go and... The team will make sure the run plan is updated to include refueling. So all you have to do is fit some fresh tyres. Here you can see all the tyre compounds available this weekend. When making any changes, just be sure you're considering both the condition and the compound of the selected tyre. We want maximum performance during qualifying, so let's use a fresh, soft compound tyre. Soft tyres are the fastest in dry conditions.
No DRS. No DRS.
Copy.
If a driver needs an additional performance push for a short time, they can adjust their ERS strategies and use any battery charge they have. There are 3 ERS strategies that deploy more energy than they harvest, but each use that energy for a different purpose. Harvest will prioritise charging up the battery instead of using energy for performance. Neutral will maintain the current battery charge over a lap, which gives a nice balance of energy deployment and harvesting. Brilliant. The car's ready to head back out at your say-so. It's probably best to do at least one more run before the end of the round, unless you're feeling very confident about our time so far. The track will have more grip later in the round, but there will also be more traffic. It's up to you to decide when you want to send the car out. Whatever gets us through to Q2. Fuel commands allow drivers to manage their car's fuel consumption. Just keep an eye on your remaining fuel. If we run out, the car will be forced to retire.
Diddley.
Yeah, copy that, check out. Hit limiter.
From the data view, you can see live data from the current session. Here we can see the latest lap and sector times for all drivers, and an overview of their tyre conditions. Here you can also view how the current session could affect the drivers' and constructors' championship standings. There's plenty more to dive into with the data view, so make sure you spend some time exploring.
And that's the lockup! Let's take a look at the replay. Daniel Ricciardo involved here. And yes, that's the lockup. The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Well, the first flying lap could have gone better, but never mind. Keep an eye on the stand-ins throughout the session to make sure we stay out of the knockout zone. Right then. That qualifying run is done, so the driver will return to the pits now. I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend, but if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like, or...
Battery screen.
Copy. Feedly.
Copy.
Recharge on.
Okay.
Recharge off when you're ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Okay.
That'll be the session over.
We're through to Q2. Great work. In Q2, the fastest 15 cars from Q1 battle it out for only 10 places in Q3. Now let's push even harder for a place in Q3. It's up to you whether you manage the rest of the qualifying rounds. If you want, you can let the team take control, so you can focus on the upcoming race.
Ready to check.
Yeah, ready to check.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
Copy.
Caution on the battery.
Okay.
Okay, recharge on.
Yeah, okay.
Recharge off when you're ready.
Copy.
And recharge off when you're ready.
Yeah.
Remember to click overtake.
Copy.
We are out of DRS.
Okay.
Welcome to race day. And before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
This weekend, Red Bull displayed promise during qualifying. Now they need to capitalize on their grid position and get a good race under their belts. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. The weather is very overcast here, and teams are staring at the sky watching for the first sign of rain. Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right then, time for the main event, the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a great time for us to get some early points under our belt. So let's stay focused and push hard. Each driver will need to make at least one pit stop to fit new tyres. On average, a pit stop will cost a driver about 25 seconds. So we need to think carefully about when to pit and why. Let's set a tyre strategy for our drivers now. We need to make sure we have a good plan for when we want the cars to pit. Every race weekend, the team will prepare some recommended strategies to choose from. Let's see what they suggest for this race. Okay, strategy A is a fast but risky option, relying on 2 soft stints and no hard compound at all. Strategy B is a well-balanced option. 2 soft stints and a nice long middle stint on a hard compound. Right. Strategy C is a slower but safe option for this track. We'll tackle the final stint on a medium compound instead of a soft tyre. If you think a different approach could work, you can make changes to any of the team strategies, or even create one from scratch. We can always adapt our strategy during the race. Strategy C is a good choice. Going safe for your first race isn't a bad idea. Okay, now to select a strategy for our other driver. It doesn't have to be... You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance to take advantage of in-race events and means we won't have both cars pitted on the same lap. That's both drivers with a set strategy in place. Right, let's head back to the preparation area and get this race.
It's a cloudy night tonight, but otherwise the weather looks good for the race. Taking a look at Max Verstappen. They've managed a third-place start for this race, but can they turn it into a win? And behind them, it's Perez. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. Will their hard work pay off today? And this is it, the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Here, Checo, keep on pushing.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Just keep on pushing.
Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo. Here's the replay. Now look at this, it's Pierre Gasly. A bold move indeed, and with that, they've gained a position. That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see.
DRS enabled.
What a mess.
Sounds like someone's locked up. Let's have a look. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel. That lockup could have cost them dearly. And the team had such high hopes today. What a shame. That's a good overtake from Alpine.
You're looking good at the moment.
Right, let's talk tyres. During dry races, all cars need to use at least 2 different tyre compounds. If a car doesn't comply with this rule, it will be disqualified from the race. Ultimately, it's your decision on which tyre compounds we go for. Although I'd strongly recommend sticking to the starting strategy when possible. You can see the estimated lap lifetime for each tyre when you focus on them. As the cars spend more time on track, make sure you keep an eye on their condition. This all looks great. No damage that I can see to any components. Just make sure to keep an eye on car condition as the race progresses.
all moved up. We can take a look now. We're just watching the Red Bull. And there they go, moving up a position. Just incredible manoeuvring. I think it's safe to say that went down well with the team.
Looked like a clean lap there as well, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Focus on the race ahead.
Ferrari advance the race position.
Simply lovely.
Red Bull gained a place.
So what happened there?
That's put you P2.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place. Let's take a closer look. Okay, here's the Ferrari. And they get past, which moves them up a position. And that was a bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their overall chances. Haas with an overtake.
As the race progresses, remember to keep an eye on the planned strategy you put in place before the race. The strategy view will let you check your strategy, adjust it, or even change it entirely. The data view is also an important area to track during the race. It gives you a deep dive into race data, including lap times for all the team's drivers. During the race, you can use the strategy view to check on each driver's strategy and adjust them if need be. You can also use the car and track tabs to view more details about them. The car tab